doing 1 hour session, and many of you all missed the 7:30 session only to join at 8 o'clock. But there are many people who come on Friday specifically on this session, because on Friday we try to cover one important topic. And today's topic is on death. Many people don't like to talk on death. At death, one of two things happens. I have a very funny memory. Let me share with you, because I like to create some fun sometimes. So this memory goes back to my podcast. Have I told you with whom? My podcast with Anupam Kherji. And with Anupam Kher, I told Maut. He said, Maut, no, don't talk about Maut. Again, somewhere I said Marna, and no, don't talk about Marna. Marna is the reality of life. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of Marna. Don't be afraid of death. Don't worry what will happen after death. Don't think, oh, I will lose everything of mine. Nothing is yours that you will lose. So death is a very important subject, my dear friends. And today we will go through. At death, one of two things happens. What are these one of two things that will happen at death? So no body, any body. It may be a dog or a frog, a cat or a rat, you, me, butterfly, bee, even a tree. It has to die. But long time back, I told you the story of one man who, this man, he was a king. Remember the story of the king? The king wanted to escape death. You remember the story? What happened? Some astrologer told him, you will die tomorrow at 6 p.m. when the sun sets, correctly when the sun sets. So the king said, how dare you say that? He said, I look at your position. He showed him his calculation. What calculation? He said, if you are in this kingdom, if you are there, 100% you will die. So he called the master of masters, and the master of masters told him, it is predicted you will die 100%. But if you leave this kingdom, you will not die. Now to leave the kingdom, it takes minimum 36 hours. The king, without wasting time, he got his best horse. The best horse. He told his horse, the horse can talk to the king. You remember the story? He told the horse, Ghoda, save me. Oh, Ghoda, save me. Take me out of the kingdom. The king did not take even a penny. He jumped on the horse, and the horse understood. The horse went galloping. Only he took some chapati to eat on the road, in case. Next day, 5 o'clock, the horse has to gallop to reach the border, to pass the border. Otherwise, king will die. He galloped and reached the end of the border. Just he crossed the border, and the sun set. Yama was waiting there, god of death. He told the king, Namaskara, welcome. He said, your horse correctly brought you. Your horse knew correctly where I'm waiting for you. So what is the story? This story reminds us that if death has to come now, you can't escape it. Don't be afraid. Suppose I'm going to die now. In this call, I'm talking. Now I have to die. Now. Can I stop it? I cannot stop it. Sometimes some of you people tell, why you are telling like this? What? Why you are telling like this? No, it's not. I'm not telling I will die. I'm saying if death has it in mind, I have to die now. Nothing in this world can stop it, my dear friends. When are we going to get intelligent? When are we going to understand? This story of the king is a beautiful story. I think it's in one of the Upanishads, if I'm not mistaken. But the point I'm trying to tell you all is that even the king, such a big king with that ghoda, then he had to die. So, with that note, death is said to be the end of life. The life inside us gets over. All our critical organs will stop functioning. There is no energy, there is no breath. That is the moment called death. To understand death, you must understand life. People who don't understand life don't understand death. Because life starts 9 months before our arrival day. Even now, people are still singing Happy Birthday to you. Huh? बार बार दिन ये आए तुम जियो हजारों. But we don't realize our birth happens when two cells become one. In that moment of conception, where the soul, SOUL, spark of unique life, that gives us life. Why do we get life? Have you understood why? We get life only because we are carrying karma. If you don't have karma, you will not come to earth. Huh? Don't I tell you sometime? क्या मैंने किया है, क्या मैंने किया है, संसार में आया मैं क्यों, क्या मैंने किया है, मुक्ति मुझे पाना है, मुझे मोक्ष पाना है, फिर क्यों फंसा मैं संसार में, मैं फंसा क्यों, क्या मैंने किया है. अरे what have I done? You have done karma. Karma. And it's very, very important for you to realize that when you carry karma from one life to another, the body dies, the mind and ego, it carries karma and is reborn. You know, big Swamijis sometimes confuse people. I see big saints and Swamis. They are not able to understand or explain this clearly. And if you hear some of our songs, you understand so clearly. What? मरना सबको मरना, मौत से कोई ना बचता, कर्म जो हम करते उसके हिसाब से पुनर्जन्म फिर है लेना, जैसे कर्म वैसा जन्म, कर्मों से होता पुनर्जन्म. हाँ? तो मरना, don't be afraid of marna. Don't be afraid. Learn to live. Don't worry about death. Death will come and it has to come. मौत, then to understand death, what it says, मौत पे कहाँ वो जाता है, शरीर छोड़ के कहाँ जाता है, अब तक वो तो जिंदा था, क्षण में कहाँ वो जाता है, तन जो है वो मरता है, जो जिंदा था वो निकलता है, पर वो कहाँ जाता है, ये दुनिया ना समझती है, तन छोड़ के आत्मा निकल जाती, मन तो पुनर्जन्म लेता है, मौत तो तन की होती है, मन पुनर्जन्म लेता. People in this call have become masters. If you go, you can give a lecture. Huh? If many masters go and talks what happens at death, you can tell like this. Our body will die, mind is there, mind is not mind, you cannot find who is born out of ignorance, M-E, mind. Still, we struggle. Still, we struggle. Because death is not an easy subject. Where is the mind and ego? So many people ask this question to me even today. People ask the question 100 times. Sir, who takes rebirth? Mind and ego. Very good, sir. But mind and ego does not exist. Then how can it take rebirth? What an amazing question. Paradox. Is it paradox or dichotomy? My English is not so good. I don't know what you call this. You call this paradox or you call it a dichotomy? How can the mind and ego take birth when the mind and ego does not exist? So the answer is this. If there is no mind and ego, then who carries the karma to the next life? It is ignorance. Out of ignorance, the mind and ego appears. The mind and ego appears out of ignorance. And the mind and ego carries the karma to the next journey. So what is this ignorance? I call it avidya. Sometimes I say ghor avidya. Ghor avidya. Ghor avidya means deep ignorance. So deep ignorance that you just can't overcome it. So deep the ignorance is. What is this ignorance? Believing I am the body, I am the mind, I am the ego. So this creates ignorance. Ignorance creates karma. Karma creates rebirth. Actually, the mystery of rebirth and death is so simple. Somebody came to me yesterday and they said, I am finding for my mother. Somebody met me yesterday. I said, what happened? My mother died 2 years back. And then what are you doing? No, my mother died 2 years back. I'm finding for my mother. How are you finding? I'm reading hundreds of books. I'm reading hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books how to find my mother. My mother died. So I gave that person 2 books, Rebirth and Death. I have written 2 books. I said, read this. You should be able not to find your mother, but you should be able to understand. See, it's so sad, right? Somebody's mother died. They are finding for 2 years. I asked, what did you do to your mother's body? Buried or burnt? Burnt. So you only burnt the body, and now you're finding. You only burnt the body. After you burnt the body, you are finding. So then I gave the 2 books. Because we must understand the truth. What's the truth? Jana. Huh? What's the truth? जाना जो भी आता है उसको जाना जानना कोई भी मौत से ना बचता रे जो भी आता जाता है जो भी जाता आता है पर इस चक्कर से कैसे है बचना जग से मुक्ति है पाना प्रभु से एक है हो जाना निर्वाणा मोक्ष हमें पाना आपस नहीं है आना पोनो in Tamil they say pono Raji pono what I don't know in Tamil what they say jana we must go whoever comes they have to go it may be slow but one day we have to go huh? Whoever comes here has to go. This is the world, this is the show. You can't stop it. You can't stop this show. We come and we go. We are born, and one day we will die and we'll be reborn. And this will go on and on and on and on till we are enlightened. Enlightened is not knowledge. Many people here, I told you, one person had 14 degrees. I showed the card to you last time. Chemistry professor. Huh? All degrees up to PhD level, highest degree, PhD. They had all the degrees up to PhD. Huh? Some people think if you become PhD means I am like God. I reach, of course, in knowledge you are, but you need enlightenment. You need that state called enlightenment. That's very, very important. What is enlightenment? The realization. I am not the body. Body will die. There is no mind. Don't try to fight. The ego, it says I, it's a big lie. So this is what we need to overcome. Huh? And this is enlightenment. It is realization. When you realize, you don't have to analyze. You don't have to memorize. I am the soul, S-O-U-L, spark of unique life. And this, sometimes I give an example. The wave, a small wave, when it sees so many waves splashing on the shore, starts crying, oh, I am also going to go splash now. I will also die. All the other waves died. The small wave seeing one by one, the wave is splashing. One by one, wave is splashing, 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 splashing. And the small wave is scared. Now my chance is going to come. When the wave realizes what? I am not the wave, I am the ocean. That is enlightenment. Realizing I am Atma. Atma is Paramatma. Why somebody in the waiting room or no? Somebody in the waiting room. Okay. So then, with that note, enlightened people, what do? Enlightened people attain mukti, nirvana, salvation, liberation, moksha. At death, they are liberated. Because, why? No avidya, no ignorance. Therefore, no mind and ego. Therefore, no karma. This is not a difficult subject. But my dear friends, not everybody is able to understand this. Sometimes the simplest of subjects are difficult to understand. And this needs enlightenment. The problem is there are so many bada lectures, big lectures, but we don't understand simple things. Today you're getting the secret of death, rebirth in 30 minutes. Simple secret on the reality of death. Long back I told you all this song. You heard long back? मौत की सच्चाई क्या है, हम कभी ना मरते हैं, हम तो इस शरीर से मुक्त होते हैं जब ये तन मरता है, हम तो अमर आत्मा है, आत्मा कभी ना मरती है, ऐसा जब होता है हम तन मन्ना संसार से मुक्त होते हैं. Then मौत की सच्चाई क्या है? What is the reality of death? What happens when you lose your breath? मौत की सच्चाई क्या है? What is the reality of? So my dear friends, in this you must understand what is the truth. What is the truth? The truth is, सच है हर कोई मरता है, जो भी आता वो जाता है, पर हम तो है अमर आत्मा, हमारी मृत्यु ना होती है, जो सच का एहसास न करता उसको तो मरना है, फिर जन्म लेना है. If you realize the truth, you don't die. If you realize the truth, you will never die. When the body will die, you will fly. But for this, you have to realize the truth. Keep telling yourself what? I will never die. I will never die. I am not I. Keep reminding yourself on the reality. I will never die. The problem is the mind. Where there is a peace of mind, there is no peace of mind. The mind makes us blind. The truth it leaves behind. Kill the mind, still the mind. If you don't kill the mind, you don't still the mind, then you're in trouble. Very, very important for us to kill the mind, to still the mind. So, my dear friends, less than 1% of this world is enlightened. Less than 1%. 99% are enveloped in ignorance. And they come back in a rebirth. Today, somebody was asking me in Kora, what is the connection between karma and samsara? What is the connection between karma and samsara? And because there's karma, there's samsara. If there's no karma, samsara will stop. This whole samsara is running. Who is the customer of samsara? Karma. Karma is making us do karma, then janma, karma, janma, karma, janma. So, at death, remember this, one of two things is going to happen. Reincarnation or realization. At death, there will be one of two things. At death, one of two things, reincarnation or realization. If there's no realization, there will be reincarnation. If there's realization, there will be liberation and unification. But there are some, next week we are talking on our Master Osho. And I believe that there was realization. But next week I will talk about him. How sometimes we can slip. And if we slip, then we will miss sip. Sip is there. We should not slip when we have sip. Sip should be on our lip. But instead, if we take a grip of Mercedes Benz and BMW and Rolls Royce and limousines, then we will be in another ship. You'll be another ship. You know, ship? Then you will be on a trip. So, first there were no ships in India. Now in India also many ships. First there was no ship, no cruise in India. Now many, because the world is like that. So much of development of so many attractions in life. So my dear friend, realization or reincarnation. Remember this. Huh? And if you want to remember, then you can say जीवन का मकसद, जीवन का मकसद क्या है, धरती पे क्यों आए, मुक्ति है पाना प्रभु पाना, मुक्ति पाता वो जो अविद्या को दूर करता, ऐसा सच का करता वो बुद्ध बनता, वो ही सच की अनुभूति करता. जीवन का मकसद क्या है? What is the purpose of life, my dear friends? Is it just to live and die? In this song I say, मौत पे दो ही बातें जो हो सकती है, मुक्ति पाना या फिर पुनर्जन्म लेना है. जो कर्मों के चक्कर में फंस जाता, संसार के चक्कर में फंस जाता है, पर सच का एहसास जो करता, मुक्ति पाता मोक्ष पाता है. मौत पे वो वापस ना आता, प्रभु से वो एक हो जाता है. जीवन का मकसद क्या है, धरती पे क्यों आए? Bliss, what's the meaning? What is the purpose of life? Why I came here to earth? What is the reason for my birth? It is to achieve God. It is to attain God. This is so simple, but it's the most complicated truth to realize. I tell you all about death and rebirth maybe 50 times. I must have told you. How many times, Bliss, I've spoken on death and rebirth? One time, two times, or many times? Many, many, many times. But the mind stops us from the realization. Because if you realize, the mind is destroyed. So it fights hard to keep us ignorant. How? I was writing, I want to do one session on this. How the devil, if you drop that lust L, it becomes Devi. From the devil, if you drop the L, lust, it becomes a goddess. It becomes Devi. So that L, that lust is created by the mind. The mind fights so hard to keep us ignorant. So my dear friends, we must be very cautious. Today's session is very important for you all to realize. Very, very important for you all to realize. What? इंसान अगर ये तन होता, क्या उसको हम जलाते फिर, जो जिंदा वो निकल गया, इसीलिए तो आग लगाते हम. तन तो राख हो जाता है, मन पुनर्जन्म लेता है, अहंकार के साथ मिलके मन एक नया जन्म लेता है. मकसद जीवन का पर ये है, इस चक्कर से मुक्ति पाना है. सच का एहसास जो करता है, पुनर्जन्म ना वो लेता है. मरना सबको मरना, मौत से कोई ना बचता, कर्म जो हम करते उसके हिसाब से पुनर्जन्म फिर है लेना. My dear friends, understand this simple reality of life and death. So let us close today's session. What is the session for today? One, at death, only one of two things happens. One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. You know, a computer, only one of two things happens. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. All computers 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. I learned this when I was programmed in 1980s. I was a software programmer. Luckily, I did not get into IT. Luckily, I did not. I slipped from IT. But if I had been IT, I would have been an engineer till today. So at death 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, what? One of two things happens. Realization, reincarnation, realization, reincarnation. Most people are ignorant. They live, they die, and they are reborn. This goes on and on and on. Few people are enlightened. The spark of light comes on. They realize the truth. They attain realization, liberation, unification. It's called nirvana, moksha, salvation. So, what is the benefit of today's session? One, don't be afraid of death. Death, every body will die, but you will not die. Your body will die, you will leave the body. Who are you? You are the divine soul. To realize this is your goal. Death should not be a moment of desperation. Death should be a moment of celebration. Those who worry about death, they think this is mine, that is mine. Nothing is mine. Remember this? Nothing is mine. I come without anything. I will go without anything. Those who realize this truth, they are liberated. They know. In Gita Sar what they say, तुम्हारा क्या है जो तुम लाए हो, तुम्हारा क्या है जो तुम ले जाओगे. कल जो तुम्हारा आज है वो कल किसी और का था और आने वाले कल में किसी और का हो जाएगा. The reality of life. But we don't want to accept the reality of life. And because we don't want to accept the reality of life, we are struggling. We are struggling and struggling and struggling. And we don't get to what we call that state of liberation. So, my dear friends, with that note, next week, I hope to be talking to you on Osho, Bhagavan Rajneesh. That aide and confidant for 14 years, name is Ma Anand Sheila. My 2-hour conversation with Ma Anand Sheila. I hope I will be able to put together this talk for you. And next week, so we will talk next week to you on Osho. Right? And I hope you will have an interesting conversation and you can ask me any question you want on Osho, because I think with my 2-hour conversation with Ma Sheila, I should not any question. Don't tell me how much he bought Rolls Royce. I cannot answer that question. Or don't tell which model of Rolex watch he was wearing. That, if you want, we will have to get Ma Sheila on the call. But I can tell you a little bit about his spirituality, about his lifestyle, from what I learned from Ma Sheila. So that we will talk next week or next Friday. Our conversation is my interview with Ma Anand Sheila on Osho Rajneesh. But today we will jump onto question answers. So Fridays 7 to 7:30, 7:30 to 8 is the talk. If those who are new to this, many people are joining on, not realizing that on Fridays we start at 7:30, and every day we start at 8. So let us get into question answer session. Who wants to ask questions on death, on rebirth, on any subject related to life, enlightenment? Ask AiR. Let us start. Chalo. On Fridays, we normally end questions at 8:30. But if there are more questions, we will continue. 8:40 is the deadline. But Friday, if you end 8:30, I don't mind it. I'm okay if you end at 8:30. Who's going to break the ice? You are still thinking about death and rebirth. Vanita has broken the ice. Yes, Vanita. Unmute Vanita, please. And then Yogini.
Okay.
Anita and Yogini.
Shivom Guruji.
Yes.
Okay, we were ignorant about all these things. So once we came into this hall, we know what is death. Now we can say whatever we have learned from you. We are sure that one day we are on the realizing path only. One by one, we are realizing. So that is the one thing. But what I want to ask is, Osho was a enlightened person. Then why this happened?
But does it next
He
week's
also knows that
conversation?
rebirth and reincarnation, rebirth and will happen because of our karma, mind and ego. When we, then how can he get so involved in the material
Then you cannot get liberation.
worldly things?
Then you cannot get
How?
liberation.
How? See, so many disciples, they were listening to his talk, and how can a guru? I have never heard any guru going to that level from snake and ladder 100 में पहुंच के zero में आना.
Actually,
This is the
bhoga.
first time we are.
The problem is bhoga. The problem is when you get into samsara, when you get into bhoga. So I will, Vanita, why don't you keep Osho's questions for next Friday? Because let me talk to you on next Friday, if possible. Because I will, Osho's topic we will keep for next week.
Okay, because this was going on in my mind every time.
Yeah, so understand one thing.
why.
Forget about Osho. Let's forget about Osho. But what you're telling me, suppose today, I take my example. I get attached to all the gold and diamond and money and property, and I get attached to the world. I get attached and I'm chasing it. Then can I get liberation?
No.
Why? Why not?
Because again, your mind and ego will carry your action.
Absolutely.
And then it will come.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's a very simple.
Now we are very sure.
Yeah, it's a very simple formula. If you are living as the body, mind, and ego, you will come back to earth. If you are living as the Atma, as the soul, you will be liberated.
Yes.
So the formula is not a difficult formula. But there are many questions on Osho. Many people would like to ask. I don't know how to play. Maybe what I'll do is, I will try to send you all the Osho recording before Friday. I will send you all the link before Friday, and then you can ask me questions. It will become easier. So we will try to send you the link. You watch the link of 1 hour video and on Osho, my conversation with Mashila on Osho, and then we can have a conversation. Yogini, thank you. Questions to close at 8:30. So Yogini, don't come last minute, please, with questions. Yogini?
Sir.
Yes,
death everyone knows has to come.
Yes.
But due to problems or due to, why do they take a stupid decision like suiciding, or that time why don't we have that courage or that strength to understand that we should not do this?
So tell me,
what happens at that time?
So why do you think people commit suicide, Yogini? What do you think? Why do people commit suicide? Because they're very happy? Because they're very, very happy. Oh, they are so happy that they said, come on, let's commit suicide. Yes?
It's not an happiness that happens, sir. It is that they don't realize that what they are going to do. Is it
actually
do they realize?
It's in suffering, it's in misery, it's in depression, it's in anxiety, and it's in a state of madness. The mind can make you impulsively commit suicide, but nobody who is happy will ever commit suicide.
Correct.
Nobody who will say, I am the happiest man in the world, come on, let me die. Why will he die? It is the people who are unhappy, they die. And sometimes they die because they think they can escape from the problems. They can escape from the misery they are facing. Can you escape?
You cannot escape.
What is the example that Rajesh always tells? That student went to the teacher and told the teacher, sir, 10th standard, exam nahi karna hai, I'm going to kill. The teacher told the student, how you want to die, I will help you. You want chemical, you want rope, you want knife. The student was surprised. Teacher is asking, what you want? You want rope or knife or chemical? Then the teacher jokingly told the student, my friend, If you are dying, you want to commit suicide because you don't want to do 10th standard exam, I want to remind you that if you commit suicide, you have to come back and start from first standard. You have to start first standard exam, second standard exam, third standard exam, fourth standard exam. The student told, no, I will do 10th standard exam. I don't want suicide. I don't want to come back and do again first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. So you need a guru. This teacher here was a guru for the student, right? So sometimes when you don't have a good advisor, a good master, you can do mad things like suicide. Then it's too bad. Okay, good. You're getting any more question? Come back. Vanita, Srisha, Sukeshan. Please ask questions by 8:30 if you can. Then we will close. Vanita.
Okay. Yes, I wanted to ask one more question. My this question is, why people as they age, they cling on to their possession? Why? Just once they cross 70 or 80, they become so possessive.
About
Whether
their
it is
money
their
and wealth or what?
Wealth, even emotional, this thing also towards their children and possession, particularly about the finances. They are very particular that nobody should touch my bank account. Why they do that?
I know one lady, she has lot of gold, and her children don't have money. And she tells the children, if you touch my gold, I'll break your legs if you touch my gold. After I die, you can touch it. Till I die, don't. So there is an amount of insecurity. There is an amount of insecurity. You know, also, a lot of elderly people are scared seeing the condition. You know, have you heard of this Raymond's Singhania story, for example, recently? The son has the son has thrown the father on the street. So many old people are very insecure. What if our children throw us on the street? What if tomorrow we need money for operation to live? They don't have that surrender mode. There is no, I have surrendered. When you have surrendered to God, then do you worry about these things? You don't worry.
No, you won't. You.
But if you have not surrendered to God, then you worry. Then you worry, what if I don't have money tomorrow? What if I have to do operation tomorrow? What if my children don't take care of me tomorrow? That is why the elderly people are very cautious and also ignorance. Ignorance that nothing belongs to. But I don't say they are completely wrong. Every elderly person must learn to take care of their security. But they don't have to be so worried about it that they live with insecurity that what will happen, I will die. We should not be over cautious. But I think it is not wrong for elderly people to control some of their wealth. They should. They should not give away everything to their children and be on the care of footpath. That's not a good thing to do. But over greediness also not good. Okay. So anything else? Srisha, Bliss, Sarla. Questions till 8:30. Srisha, Sarla, Bliss and Sarla.
Yes, sir. This is Sirisha.
Yes, Srisha.
Namaste, pranams.
Namaste. Bolo, Srisha.
I feel that the change of attitude is spirituality. And when we analyze every day to day our lifestyles and the way we are getting matured with the age, how do we, my one question is, what is the difference between wisdom and enlightenment? Is it the same terminology or?
No. Wisdom is becoming wise.
Yes.
The word wisdom comes from being wise, correct?
Yes,
so you may be wise in your money management. You may be wise in your health. You may be wise in your family management. You may be wise in certain social public relations.
Yes.
Enlightenment is the realization of who am I and why am I here. In enlightenment, there are only two questions.
Yes.
In wisdom, there are maybe 100. You can have 100 different different types of wisdom. But in enlightenment, only two. Who am I and why am I here? This covers the journey from self-realization to God realization.
Yeah, thank you, Guruji. Pranams. And one more small question. How do one find the death of a gnani and death of an ordinary person?
How do you find?
How do we find?
Means, how can you make out? How can you make out?
How can we make out? Yes.
If he's a Jnani or if he's attained moksha or not attained moksha,
Ah, yes.
you cannot find out.
We cannot. Yes.
Unless you are enlightened, then you
Ah.
may be, unless if you are enlightened, you may be able to evaluate. Maybe,
Yes. Yes.
but
Yeah.
not sure. That also cannot be sure. See, because let me tell you, a truly enlightened person is somebody only that person knows.
Yeah. This is what I want the answer from. I think I got a right answer to my question today.
Nobody, no, you cannot get you cannot get the certificate of enlightenment.
Yes.
So
One
you know
or
what, you know
yes,
what,
another-
you know what Osho did one day.
yeah.
Next
Tell-
week I can talk on this. But one
Yeah.
day Osho called 20 millionaires. He called 20 millionaires and declared them enlightened.
Okay.
So they they all gave a donation of big amount of money to him because he declared they were enlightened. So he got they were so happy they transferred all their money to Osho. So, but that is a story of next week. Next
Okay.
Friday we will talk on Osho.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarisha. Thank you. Bliss, before Bliss, wise man says, there's a man who calls himself wise man in Instagram. Is time of death predetermined or can lifespan be prolonged? Lifespan cannot be prolonged and it is not predetermined, which means that we cannot prolong it. It's not in our hand and it is not predetermined by anybody. Lifespan depends on your karma, and karma is dynamic. Dynamic means every moment some new karma is being added. Some new karma is being added. Some karma is being wiped out. Some karma is being added. Some karma is being wiped out. So remember this: that neither can you prolong your life or time of death, nor is it predetermined. Not that tomorrow 11:22 a.m. you will die. No, do not believe that. It's not true. If that be the case, then this world would have become uh, non-intelligent. It would have become a puppet show. It's not a puppet show. Sambad. Sambad says how to be deeply interested in reading in much time. If you want to be deeply interested in reading, read the right books. If you read the wrong books, very shortly you will get bored. But if you pick up books on spirituality, books on realization of the truth, if you pick up those books, 100% you will be deeply interested because these books are so engrossing. So much they catch us in grip. So read books on enlightenment, on realization, analogies, not just some religion. Religion is not, they are fairy tales. I'm telling you, read book on the realization of truth. Enlightened masters, read their books. Very interesting. Bliss, Sarla, Bliko, Sukeshini, Rajendra.
Hi, Shwan dear, Shwan
Shivoham.
everyone.
Tell me,
You
Bliss.
can, you can read, please. I
Okay.
have sent
Bliss,
you a message.
Bliss from Canada wants us to read. Bliss from Canada says, bonjour. The way we die, suicide, medical help, or naturally doesn't matter. When we realize the truth, this body, this life, mindinghood due to ignorance no longer matters, right? See, the way we die matters.
Why?
Because suppose you commit suicide tomorrow, or you want to take, what do you call this? What's the death called? You when they give you
Medical
injection.
help.
When huh? Euthanasia.
Medical help.
So if you die by suicide or euthanasia, where you are asked to be given death, then you cannot be liberated
Why?
because
Explain
you are
me.
no. I'm telling you why. Because because you have to let the divine will end your life for realization and liberation. Because God lives in the temple of your heart. You cannot throw the divine out of your body by killing your body. Suicide or euthanasia cannot.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking, as I know everything and I understand what that is, and I understand my ego and everything, so I can stop this live, this showtime.
No, 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 no. If you are, if you are realize, if you realize the truth and you go on top of the mountain and you jump, you have to come back.
It's not
Ah.
right.
Yeah, it is. So don't try to kill yourself, because
But,
if you kill yourself, you have to come back. Okay? Bliss
yes,
from
I
Canada.
understand. Thank you.
Sarala ready. Sarala. Yes, Sarala.
Yeah. Karma is the cause for rebirth, but what is the cause for first birth? That soul separates from the Paramatma. No, what is the cause? That
That
is my
only
question.
Shiv knows. See, if you ask, it's just like asking, why grass is green, why sky is blue. Can I answer the question? Why
Again,
grass
you
could
can't
not
say.
be blue and the sky
Yeah,
could
you
not be
can't say.
green? If we go and find out the cause of existence, it's just like asking why Coca-Cola made Coca-Cola black, not white. So that only Coca-Cola will decide. Nah, Coca-Cola will decide whether why they want to make it black or why cola should be black. This you and me cannot make the decision. But
Or
every future birth is rebirth because of karma.
yeah, that rebirth happens because of karma. But that's my question. And then one more thing, existence or universe needs players, characters to play the game.
There are no characters.
We are the characters.
We are not, we think we are the characters, but this is Maya. So even your first question, the first person came is Maya. Maya means it's a projection. We all human beings, in essence, you know, if in the TV, Amitabh Bachchan and Shah Rukh Khan are in the TV, actually they are there.
No.
They're
Only
not there.
projection. Yeah, they're not.
They are there, no?
No.
Or they are not there.
On the TV, they are not there. Really, there. Okay.
In the TV, can I shake my hand with Amitabh Bachchan and Shah Rukh Khan? Can I shake my hand? Why not?
It is projection only. Yeah.
So Sarala Reddy, which you are appearing now, no? You are also projection.
Okay.
Easy to understand or impossible to understand?
Yeah, easy to understand.
It's impossible to understand.
No,
But the
because
truth is, Sarla,
mm,
are you understanding what I'm saying? Your whole body composition appearing to be made of 35 trillion cells. In reality, it is nothing but energy put together.
yeah, I got that point.
How can we imagine? Human being cannot even fathom, cannot even imagine this. Any more question?
So, who is enjoying the misery pain of the human beings then?
Who is enjoying?
Yeah, who is enjoying who is watching and enjoying
the body, mind, ego. The body, mind, ego is suffering and enjoying.
yeah,
And the
both
soul
is
and the soul and the consciousness is the witness and the observer of this drama.
yeah, drama is watching.
But who feels the pain? The body. Who experiences the pain? The mind and the ego.
Mind and ego. Yeah.
So
Then
the
soul is
combination of
witnessing.
BME, body, mind, and ego, experiences both the pleasure and pain. But in reality, we are not the body, mind, ego. We are the divine soul. But we don't understand this. We don't realize this. Therefore, we suffer. We enjoy. Both happens.
Yeah. We are the victims, no? In both the ways. We enjoy and we suffer. We
Because
means
because of karma. Karma because of ignorance. Ignorance is creating this Maya that we exist. See, when you realize all these things become very simple to understand. But when you don't realize,
theoretically it's very easy, but practically implementation is very
no,
difficult.
when you're in mind state, you can't understand. You have to get out of mind state. Thank you. Any more questions? Come back. Bliko, Sukeshini, Rajendra. And then we can continue questions at least till 8:30, I told you. If too many questions, 8:40, but Friday after 8:30, I will not drag it. Bliko, Sukeshini, Rajendra.
Shivoham, everybody.
Sure.
it's not question, but I want to highlight what you said. Is the word you say that peace of mind. Normally people talk about peace of mind, but I like your highlight that peace of mind will never make you make you that peace of mind will make you miserable, because that peace, and I experienced just before this call, my mind was wandering and I did some stupid thing and I said, oh my god, what I do? In while doing also, my consciousness was telling me this is wrong, 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 don't do. And then I said, my god. So this peace of mind can destroy you very easily. So we have to be in a consciousness is a challenge. And one thing I like on the death things, that प्रभु पाना यही मकसद है, मरने से पहले प्रभु को पाना है, यही, this is only we have to remember, because death can come at any time, body
Nico,
can go end, right? Because this is
why
instrument. Yeah,
why this is very important?
because we our goal is to get enlightenment.
Correct.
Before
so why Prabhupana?
instrument,
Prabhupana, why it is so important?
because then only you can get out of this maya and get
And if you
liberated.
don't get out of this Maya,
then you come into that cycle of birth and rebirth
again and
continuous,
again and again
again and again. So
And
many
now
deaths
you're
will come, not one death. So many deaths will come.
now this is just like telling. Let me give you one small story.
Mhm.
There was a girl who for 20 years was she was dreaming of buying a perfume from Paris. For 20 years, she was dreaming to buying a perfume from Paris. Then one day after 20 years, she went to Paris. And she was going to buy the perfume. Then the man asked how much she asked. He said 200 euros. She said, so costly, 200 euros. Let me think about it. She went there and the boarding gate said flight is closing now. We have to go. She went in the plane and another next 20 years, she never came back to Paris. Now she had the 200 euros. She wanted to buy that perfume, but she did not buy it. For 20 years, she was waiting. So we human beings are lucky. We are on the Zoom call. We are close to enlightenment. We are close to realization. Now, if you miss it also, if you miss it, then what happens?
It is a waste of your life, because you will never get this chance. This chance is like after so many births, we don't know how many numbers of birth, but so many births we get this opportunity, and we miss this opportunity, then it's gone. That's it. And you know what? One thing I want to tell you is, being in this call or being in spiritual path,
Consciousness,
is so amazing. So even if I'm getting enlightenment, that is all ahead, and maybe God wish will get it. But the journey is so exciting and so peaceful, and you get enjoyment. I get bliss every day. In no situation can make me unhappy now. It looks like
because you
this is drama, because we understand now.
Because you have achieved so many realizations.
Correct.
Maybe you're feeling that spark of enlightenment is still not there, but you have got so many realizations, and you can see the picture is getting formed. Some pieces are missing, that you are not getting that full feeling, right? Of being Swami Bliko. You're not getting that feeling. But you are every time you are going better and better and better and getting clearer and clearer and clear. And that is the beautiful. Thank you, Sukeshini, Rajendra, Shivani. Sukeshini.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I have a question related to yesterday's what we spoke from Bhakti to Bhakti Yoga. So my understanding is, whatever we do in present, whatever responsibilities, whatever we are doing, so we have to do it without the I and with devotion. Is that right?
Are you talking about bhakti or are you talking about karma yoga? What are you talking about?
I'm talking from bhakti to bhakti yoga. How do we?
From bhakti to bhakti yoga, when you're doing bhakti, I and God are separate. When I am praying to Shiva, or I am praying to Krishna or Rama, or even my Guru, if I am praying to somebody, I am separate and that person is separate, this becomes bhakti.
Yes.
When I am praying to God,
Yeah.
and I disappear, and me and God, we become one, that becomes bhakti yoga.
Okay.
If there is a gap between me and God, it is bhakti.
Yeah.
If there's a gap between me and my beloved, it is prema. If me and my beloved become one, it becomes prema yoga.
Okay.
If I am chasing my beloved, it is prema. But if I'm not chasing, but there is divine soulfulness, it is prema yoga. If I am doing karma, then it is my karma. But if I am doing karma as an instrument of the divine, it is karma yoga.
Okay.
The I should disappear. The I should disappear in bhakti. The I should disappear in dhyana. In dhyana, I am meditating, I am meditating, I am meditating. It is dhyana. In dhyana, the I disappears. There is only consciousness. It becomes dhyana yoga.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, Keshini, Rajendra and Shivani. Rajendra, Shivani.
Namaste, sir.
Yes, namaste.
Sir, we know that every cell of our body is energy or consciousness, and we appear because of soul. We just appear. Now I will read two lines, sir. You are the supreme Brahman, infinite, yet hidden in the hearts of all creatures. In the hearts, I mean.
Heart,
then again,
in the heart.
Heart. Then again, you are the Purusha, no bigger than the thumb, is the inner self, ever seated in the cave of thought.
कहाँ से पढ़ा भगवत गीता में, उपनिषद में कहाँ से पढ़ा आपने?
उपनिषद में पढ़ा है. So
question क्या है आपका?
I can understand that here, because it's basically it is love. Self is also the love, so they must be relating it with the heart. Is it like that?
No. Read the line. I will explain to you. Read the line again. Read the first line.
Sir, I will read. Sir, the Purusha, no bigger than the thumb, is the inner self, ever seated in the cave of thought.
What they are saying is the Purusha, it's not very big. The Purusha appears to be small. But read the first line. The second line is only a follow-up. Read the first line.
You are the supreme Brahman, infinite yet hidden in the hearts of all creatures.
So you, the divine, this जो प्रभु है, प्रभु God है, God सिप है. फिर भी सिप जो है हर लिप में है, हर कण में है. You are in every heart. You are everywhere. Jagat Mithya, Brahma Satya. God lives in the temple of your heart. The kingdom of God is within. Therefore, ये ना बोलते हैं ना पूर्णमदम पूर्णमिदम पूर्णात पूर्णमुदच्यते. This mantra tells you सब कुछ प्रभु है. और ये राजेंद्र है, ये भी प्रभु है. और अगर राजेंद्र नहीं है तो बचेगा प्रभु ही बचेगा. सब कुछ प्रभु है. करेक्ट?
तो सर मैं ऐसे ले रहा था इसको जैसे हम बोलते हैं सूरज है तो इट इज समवेयर, तो रोशनी चल रही है. तो ऐसे ये भी बोलते हैं कि हार्ट में है किंगडम ऑफ हार्ट, जो हार्ट में है भगवान का किंगडम, उधर रहता है. लेकिन ये सब बिखरा हुआ है, रोशनी बिखरी हुई हमारी बॉडी में.
But in this what you read out, it only says that Parabrahman, the Brahman, is seated. प्रभु हर इंसान में भगवान है. This is in one line. जो आप बोल रहे हैं, the translation is हर इंसान में भगवान है.
But the place he is saying that मतलब people take it that the soul resides in heart. I don't take it.
Heart ऐसे बोल रहे हैं, heart में नहीं है.
No, like there's nothing like that heart.
No.
Because people normally take it. I was also taking it like in the heart.
No, don't take it heart. कण में है, हर कण में.
कण में है, yes. अब तो ये saying है, ये लिखा है उन्होंने, because heart was a precious item, ये बड़ा important था, तो इसको as शायरी लिखा है.
The problem is the translation and the interpretation has become very confusing. People are interpreting, they say mind, but they mean intellect. They say mind, but they mean consciousness.
They use mind, all the three Three times they use mind, mind, and mind. For every
So
intellect, mind, also mind.
you have to be very careful. Mind and intellect, they use mind for intellect.
Yes, 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 yes.
Whereas mind and intellect are not the same.
Okay. Thank you.
So right now we have question of Shivani, and if there is no question, I will wind up after this. Anybody asking question, ask now. Otherwise, we will close. Shivani.
Yes, Shivoham Guruji.
Sure.
Namaste. Yes, I want to ask this question that what is destiny? And some astrologers, they see your chart and they tell this is your destiny and this has to happen. And can we change our destiny? So this is my question.
Destiny is equal to karma. Your destiny is your karma. Astrology is a very good business. If you don't know, if you have no other business, please take up astrology. Easy making money. Because anybody will tell, will be, and because astrologers can change your Janampatri and they can change your, what they can do, magic. You change the door of your house and your destiny will change. What can you get a better magic show? You change the window of your position and your health will become better. How? So these are all, sorry to say, money making rackets. And we should not get caught in these rituals, these superstitions. We must use our buddhi, our intellect. The word luck, the spelling of the word luck, L-U-C-K, is wrong. It is P-L-U-C-K, pluck. There is no luck. We pluck. What we pluck? We pluck what we plant. As you sow, so shall you reap. Is it by luck that there are mangoes in your garden? Is it luck? There is no luck. Mangoes are in the garden because of the seed you planted. Your destiny is because of the deed you have done. Do not be confused. There is nothing like destiny. You control your destiny through your karma, your prarabdha karma, which you cannot control, and your agami karma. But you can change your destiny by realizing the truth, who you are. Then you are liberated from destiny. You are free from this life itself. You become one with the Supreme. You attain nirvana, moksha. How? By realizing I am not this body, mind, ego. I am the divine soul. The soul doesn't have any destiny. Soul is the Supreme. There's a question on Instagram.
Okay.
Huh? Okay. Okay, Shivani, done?
Thank you. Yes, it was lingering in my mind for a long time.
No,
of this
but please
destiny,
clear it.
what astrologers tell us, yes.
See, astrology. Have I told the story of the Sonek guy? I told you all the story, Raji? Okay, Shivani, let me tell the story since I have time today. Let me tell the story. About 20 years back, my mother called me. My mother called me and my mother told with the folded hands. She said, you know, you are a lot of struggle in your life. She told me. So I went to one Swami Pandit, astrologer. Swami Pandit and astrologer. She went and she told that Swami Pandit and astrologer, Swamiji, my son is struggling. So Swamiji Pandit astrologer told no problem, send him. So I went next day. So Swami Pandit astrologer looked at my kundali, what you call kundali, this one, that one, everything. He told, sir, unfortunately, in the previous janma, you have done gau hatya. You have done gau hatya. You have killed a cow. So I told Swamiji what to do now. He said, don't worry. There is a solution for all this. So he said, we have to bury a golden cow. So I told, okay, no, where to get this golden cow? He said, you don't take the trouble because I have to get that special golden cow. It will take 20 days to procure that special golden cow. You come after 20 days. So after 20 days, he told my mother, this is 20 years back. My mother told me that Pandit has called tomorrow, take 20,000 rupees and go. 25,000 rupees. Take 25,000 rupees for the golden cow. So I went there and I was a businessman. So I told Panditji, I brought the money. Please show me the cow. So Panditji said, yeah, I will show you. So he took the money from my hand and he took me to the inside room. In the inside room, a Navagraha puja was there. Coconut, tilak, and all this camphor, agarbatti, everything. So I told Swamiji, where is the golden cow? He said, see, I know you're a busy man. I already put inside the Navagraha. Now we cannot disturb it. Your Gauhatya that shrap will not go from you. So now we will do the puja. And I was sitting there. And he started. Then after few minutes, he did ding, 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 agarbatti. And he said, now, I said, Swamiji, now what happened? He said, now your Gauhatya ho gaya. After I went out of that room, I looked at such a bloody fool. You are such an idiot. This man, this astrologer Swami Pandit put chuna. That time they say, chuna lagaya. Chuna lagaya. 25,000 ka chuna lagaya. See, we all get this chuna. You, me, we all have experienced this chuna. And again we do chuna and again chuna and chuna and chuna. And innocent people like my mother, they get chuna-fied again and again and again. But what can we do? This is avidya. Okay. So I hope you understand. Don't get chuna anymore. I'm giving my real example. Before we close, some questions from Vaishali. Sir, as you said, Atma never die. Then what about ghost? Ghost, you know, ghost. Have you seen Ghost, Vaishali? Have you seen Ghost? Ghost is a fiction of imagination. There is no ghost. If you want to enjoy, you can go and enjoy roast dosa. Roast dosa is there, but ghost is not there. So the people who believe in ghost, they will live with fear and worry and stress and anxiety. So do not believe in it. Limitless. So you always say be in consciousness. Does it mean be in consciousness? Limitless means be in thoughtlessness. Don't be in the mind state. If you're in the mind state, you can't be in consciousness. Being in consciousness, in the Buddhists, they call it mindfulness. In meditation, it's called thoughtlessness. Some people, they say, be the witness, be the observer, which means don't let thoughts pour like rain. Don't let them make you miserable again and again. When there are plenty of thoughts coming, you're in the mind state. When you lock the mind, you block the mind, then you are in consciousness. Then no thoughts can come. They will come gently, one by one, slowly, asking your permission. Slowly they will come. That is a state of consciousness. So, my dear friends, today is Friday. We will close now. We will meet you tomorrow at 8. But remember, our goal is to transcend death. At death, if you have no realization, there will be reincarnation. And bliss, you cannot die and think you will go to God. You have to wait for the right moment. Birth and death is not in our hand. If we directly do something to die, then we will cry because we will come back again and again and again. So with that note, I take your permission and I bow down to you. We'll see you tomorrow.